swaying easy air, a mellow kind of blue. The world is not demanding, and somehow that feels new. I stretch across the mattress without a sense of race. The morning doesn't chase me, it simply gives me space. You're standing by the counter, eating something small. I can't even remember what we planned at all. But something feels different, like a chord that sits just right. Not dramatic or explosive, just balanced in its light. The bass line under silence moves steady through. Brush drums like soft footsteps, sweeping away the gloom. You look up with that half smile that doesn't try too hard. For a quiet second, nothing feels too far. No particular reason, no banner in the sky, just a gentle kind of ease I don't need to justify. I used to search for moments that felt larger than the frame, thinking joy required a spark or something I could name. But here we are in each routine, coffee halfway done, and I can't find a single thing that needs to be outrun. Maybe this is happiness, not loud, not rare, not wild. Just breathing without tension, like a well-rested child. You tap your fingers softly along the wooden chair. The rhythm finds my heartbeat waiting quietly there. We talk about the weather like it actually matters, about a song we heard last night, about nothing that shatters. And in that harmless chatter, there's something I can trust, a sense that life is holding instead of turning to dust. No grand arrival, no final scene to claim, just two cups on a small round table and peace without a name. I used to measure good days by what I achieved, but today I'm not achieving anything, and that feels like relief. The sunlight slips between us in soft lines, touching every ordinary thing, and somehow it refines. You don't try to impress me, I don't try to shine. We are not performing, we're simply in the time. The acoustic strings are gentle, like conversation tone. Nothing overstated, nothing overthrown. And I notice how my shoulders aren't pulled up near my ears. There's no invisible pressure, no background of fears, no particular reason, no milestone to defend. Just a morning moving forward without needing to transcend. You laugh about something small, I laugh because you do. And for a passing second, the feeling circles through. I don't wanna dissect it or trap it in a phrase. Some moods don't need explanation, they just quietly stay. If tomorrow shifts its color, if next week brings a test, I'll remember the simplicity that let my spirit rest. Not every blessing glitters, not every gift is loud. Some days arrive unannounced without asking to be proud. The city slowly fills, engines start to roll, but nothing in that movement disturbs my inner role. I stand beside you loosely, without a scripted line, and for once I'm not rehearsing or trying to define. No particular reason, no evidence to show, just an unforced contentment, letting keeps it minimal, a steady rounded tone. And in that steady comfort, I feel entirely at home. You brush against my shoulder on your way across the room, and something in that gesture clears away the gloom. I don't need a grand design or fireworks above. Sometimes the truest mornings are the quiet shape of love. There's nothing special on the calendar, nothing bold to prove, but this unspoken lightness is more than enough to move.
Heard you moved to a different town, closer to the sea. I picture waves around your feet, the sky wide open up above. It didn't hurt the way I thought, no sharp edges in my chest, just something soft and bittersweet, like a memory laid to rest. There was a time I would have called just to hear your voice again, but love can change its shape with grace. It doesn't have to strain. We were young and learning still, trying hard to get it right. Two hopeful hearts with open hands, walking toward uncertain light. I used to hold our ending tight, as if it proved that we had failed. But endings aren't confessions, they're just stories that have sailed. I don't replay the words we said, or wish I could undo, because every step we took together built the version of me you. And that version's still here standing, stronger than before, not aching for what isn't mine, not knocking at your door. If you are laughing somewhere new, if someone holds your hand, I hope they see the tenderness that only few can understand. I hope the morning treats you well, I hope your coffee's warm, I hope the world is kinder now and steady through each storm. There's no medal for holding on to something that has changed. Sometimes the bravest thing we do is loosen what we've arranged. So I let you go gently, not thrown into the wind, but placed back into the universe with gratitude within. Because love is not a possession, it's a gift we get to share. And when the season passes, it still leaves something there. You taught me how to listen close, how to stay and not retreat, how to meet another heartbeat without missing my own beat. And even now in quiet hours, when thoughts drift back in blue, they don't undo my present peace, they simply honor you. I don't wish to rewrite us or change the path we chose. I'm thankful for the chapter that's so naturally closed. Somewhere in the bigger picture, where every story flows, there's room for what we once were and space for what still grows. So walk your road with open eyes, with courage in your stride. I walk mine just as honestly, with sunlight by my side. And if one day our paths should cross by chance without design, we'll greet each other gently like two old friends in time. No trembling hands, no hidden blame, just warmth without regret. Because love that's given freely is the hardest to forget. I let you go gently, and somehow I remain but expanded by the change.
The kettle clicks before the world awakes, and steam is rising like a gentle prayer. I watch the condensation as it makes tiny little rivers everywhere. The neighbor's dog is barking at a leaf. The mailman hums a tune I recognize. And somewhere in between the joy and grief, there's a life that's hiding in disguise. I almost missed it running out the door, chasing after things that never stay. But everything I've ever needed more was already here, already made. Thank you, ordinary, for the things I overlooked for years, for the quiet and the necessary, for the beauty hiding in the tears. Thank you for the Tuesday afternoons, for the toast that's slightly overdone, for the way my favorite records croon when the day is finally done. My father calls me every other week. We talk about the weather and the game. He never says the words he wants to speak, but I can hear them hidden in my name. My mother sends me recipes I'll try, with little notes that say don't skip the salt. And every time I almost wanna cry, because this love was never my default. I spent so long searching for the grand, the cinematic moments big and wide, but everything I'll ever understand was sitting patient, waiting by my side. Thank you, ordinary, for the things I overlooked for years, for the quiet and the necessary, for the beauty hiding in the tears. Thank you for the Tuesday afternoons, for the toast that's slightly overdone, for the way my favorite records croon when the day is finally done. We spend so much time waiting for life to begin, as if it's some event that hasn't happened yet. But it's happening right now in the sound of rain against the window, in the way your pillow holds the shape of your sleep, in the first sip of something warm on a cold afternoon. Life isn't waiting for you somewhere else. It's been here all along, patient and kind. So here's to every unremarkable day that quietly became a memory, to all the things we never thought to say, because they felt too small to be set free. The way the curtains move without a breeze, the sound of pencils scratching on a page, the comfort of a worn-out pair of keys. These are the chapters of my favorite stage. Thank you, ordinary, for the things I overlooked for years, for the quiet and the necessary, for the beauty hiding in the tears. Thank you for the Tuesday afternoons, for the toast that's slightly overdone, for the way my favorite records croon when the day is finally done. Thank you for the little things, the unnoticed, the unseen. You were everything.
a photograph I keep in the bottom of the box. A girl with tangled hair and secondhand socks. She's smiling like the world hasn't touched her yet. And I owe her something heavy that I haven't paid back yet. I told her she was too much, then I told her not enough. Gave her every standard that I never asked of love. She believed me every time, took it in without a fight. And I carried on pretending that I had the right. The woman I owe an apology, living in my bones. She's the one who took the damage every time I said the tone. I said wait and she waited. I said shrink and she shrank. The woman I owe an apology has been here from the start. And I'm finally writing back to her with the whole of my heart. I criticized her body like it wasn't built for life. Measured her in inches instead of how she survived. Compared her to the highlights of somebody else's reel. And then wondered why she struggled to remember how to feel. But she never stopped believing that I'd come around someday. She kept a seat beside her and she whispered it's okay. She believed me every time, took it in without a fight. And I carried on pretending that I had the right. The woman I owe an apology has been living in my bones. She's the one who took the damage every time I set the tone. I said wait and she waited. I said shrink and she shrank. The woman I owe an apology has been here from the start. And I'm finally writing back to her with the whole lot of my heart. So here it is, the overdue letter. Dear young me, dear present me too. Sorry for the standards that were never built for you. You were always old, even when I said you weren't. Every scar you carry is a lesson learned. When I owe an apology has been living in my bones. She's the one who took the damage every time I set the tone. I said wait and she waited. I said shrink and she shrank. The woman I owe an apology has been here from the start. And I'm finally writing back to her with the whole of my heart. I see you now. I'm sorry it took this long. You were never the problem. You were the song. I don't feel smaller when you're near. I don't feel pressed to interfere with who I've been before we met. There's nothing here I must forget. You never asked me to condense or trade my edges for pretense. You listen wide, you listen slow. Like every part of me can show. There's something easy in your tone. It doesn't claim me as well. It simply stands beside my stride and lets my open steps be right. I've known what it's like to just to fold my wants into the dust, to shape myself to fit a frame and call that compromise my name. But this feels different from the start. No hidden claws, no guarded heart, just steady ground beneath my feet and space enough for both to meet. And I feel myself expand, not slipping from your hand, but growing where I stand, more certain than I planned. drawn, not fixed in stone or overworn. We let the breathe and burn without demanding how it ends. There's courage in the way you say be everything you are today. No tightening grip, no subtle chain, no quiet pressure to explain. I move through hours more aware of how your trust is simply there. Not watching close to measure worth, not counting what I bring to earth. And I feel myself expand, not drifting from your hand, but steady where I land, more grounded than I planned. We walk without a hurried pace, no race to claim a certain place, just step by step in honest view, where I am me and you are you. I've seen how love can narrow sight, turn open skies to something tight, but this is open, this is air, with room for thought and room for care. You celebrate the things I chase, the quiet goals I interlace between the hours of each day without asking them away. And when I stumble, lose my thread, you don't rewrite the words I said. You let me find the line again without a sharp or silent end. This kind of love does not confine, it doesn't blur the outer line. It holds without control or blame, and still it burns with steady flame. And I feel myself expand, not slipping from your hand, but growing where I stand, more certain than I planned. I laugh a little louder now, I speak without a second vow to soften every single edge or stand behind a safety hedge. You widen all the space around where doubt once used to gather ground. You turn restraint into release and restless questions into peace. If love is meant to shape the soul, then this is how it makes me whole. Not by reducing who I've been, but by inviting more within. I don't feel smaller when you're near, I don't feel pressed to disappear. I feel the world extend in view. Somehow I am wider with you. Nobody writes a song about the woman paying bills, or the mother on the bus who swallowed down her spills. Nobody paints a mural of the quiet act of waking when your body says stop here, but you keep going for their sake. We celebrate the heroes on the stages and the screens, but what about the bravery in the in-between? There's a revolution happening in kitchens after dark, and the woman making lunches with an exhausted heart. There is courage in the ordinary, in the getting up again, in the showing up on Mondays when the weekend couldn't mend. Hey, yeah. There is courage in the staying, in the loving through the grind, the kind that doesn't trend but holds the whole world from behind. There is courage in the ordinary, and it looks a lot like you. My neighbor raised 3 children in a 1-bedroom alone. Never missed a single game, never let the the struggle shows. She doesn't call it bravery, she calls it what you do. But I've seen decorated soldiers with less resilience in their shoes. The woman at the register who smiles through the pain, the teacher staying late again who won't get the acclaim. There's a revolution happening in kitchens after dark, and the woman making lunches with an exhausted heart. There is courage in the ordinary, in the getting up again, in the showing up on Mondays when the weekend couldn't mend. And there is courage in the staying, in the loving through the grind, the kind that doesn't trend but holds the whole world from behind. There is courage in the ordinary, and it looks a lot like you. So this one's for the unnamed, the uncredited, the real, the ones who hold it all together on nothing but a meal. You are the backbone of a world that doesn't see. But I see you tonight, and you're everything to me. There is courage in the ordinary, in the getting up again, in the showing up on Mondays when the weekend couldn't mend. There is courage in the staying, in the loving through the grind, the kind that doesn't trend but holds the whole world from behind. There is courage in the ordinary, and it looks a lot like you. The ordinary ones are the bravest ones I know. You don't need a spotlight to put on the greatest show. Because in the ordinary is the realest kind there is. You wouldn't recognize this calm the way I carry myself these days. Not louder, not sharper, just steadier in quiet ways. I remember how you used to sit on the edge of every choice, afraid that one wrong movement would silence your own voice. You thought you had to hurry, thought time was running thin. You wore determination like armor, letting no softness in. But listen closely, I'm not disappointed, I'm not ashamed. Stay with me now, if you could see me here. You'd know it wasn't wasted, none of the trembling years. Every doubt you carried led me to this ground. You were doing your best, even when it didn't look like strength. Even when you called it failure, it was cruel in disguise. Soft piano folds around the words, brushes sweep beneath. Bass holds the line steady, like something underneath. We used to measure progress by applause and visible signs, counting every small misstep like permanent designs. But life unfolded differently, not in straight, precise lines, more gentle curves and perfect timing. Stay with me now, you don't have to brace yourself, you don't have to anticipate every possible fall. The ground has been kinder than you imagined. I wish I could reach through memory, place a hand on your shoulder, tell you you survived more gracefully. it. Every time you stood up, even shaking, it mattered. Stay with me now. Let the past loosen its grip. Let comparison fade. You were never late. You were becoming. You didn't fail. You evolved. You didn't break. You acoustic strings brushed gently. Melody rising without force, not triumphant. Just assured. There's no dramatic reveal here. No sudden shining crown. Just a woman breathing easier because she put her weapons down. You didn't need perfection. You needed patience. You didn't need approval. You needed room and you found it. Not all at once, but piece by piece. Stay with me now. If you could see this version, you'd smile at how it feels. Not grand, not loud, just real. The tempo carries softly forward, never pushing too far. Just enough lift to feel the shift. You were braver than you knew, gentler than you allowed, and stronger in ways that didn't make a sound. So if you're still out there sitting on the edge of doubt, take a breath and trust the unfolding. Because I'm here living proof that you were always on the right path.
Every time you walk into the room, something changes in the air. Like the world just turns to, and I forget what took me there. I could watch you read your favorite book, lost inside a world of words. Every little glance and every look tells me things I've never heard. And I don't need the answers now. I just need this moment here with you. Let the rest of the world spin around. We got no words to be. It's true. Stay a little longer. Let the hours fade away. We don't need a reason. We don't need a plan. Yeah. Your voice is like a melody that I could play on repeat. Stay a little longer, make this ordinary sweet. You've got coffee on your fingertips and laughter dancing in your eyes. Every story falling from your lips feels like some kind of paradise. I've been running circles all my life, chasing things I couldn't name. But sitting here beside you feels so right, and nothing's ever been the same. And I don't need the answers now. I just need this quiet space we found. Let the noise of everything fade out. You're the only one I want around. Stay a little longer. Let the hours fade away. We don't need a reason. We don't need a plan today. Your voice is like a melody that I could play on repeat. Stay a little longer, make this ordinary sweet. You know, some people spend their whole lives looking for something extraordinary. But I think the real beauty is right here. In the way you laugh at your own jokes, the way you hold your cup with both hands, the way you hum a song you don't remember learning. Make the simple things feel like they're more than enough. The afternoon is stretching out so slow, and I don't mind it, not at all. There's a kind of peace I've come to know just by leaning on this wall. Watching shadows paint across the floor, listening to your easy sighs. I have never wanted something more than this view through half closed. Stay a little longer, let the hours fade. We don't need a reason, we don't need a plan today. Your voice is like a melody that I could play. Stay a little longer, make this ordinary sweet. Stay a little longer, just a little longer. I could stay here with you forever, wouldn't be enough. Stay a little longer with you.
Woke up to the sound of rain. Coffee getting warm between my hands. All those little words fading into nothing. Something in the air says I don't understand. I've been moving fast for way too long, trying to keep up with a world that never waits. But today I'm gonna take it slow and easy, let the hours find their own sweet pace. No, I don't need a reason to feel this way. Everything I want is already in this place. This is where I belong, in the quiet of the feeling when the rhythm carries on. Every breath is like a melody I'm finally learning. This is where I belong, with my feet upon the ground and my heart in my hands. I'm done with second guessing, I'm just here, and I'm not leaving. Pages of my life are turning on their own now. Every chapter writing something beautiful. I used to chase the answers like the world owed me a reason. Now I'm letting go and finding that it's wonderful. Seasons come and pass, but I don't mind the change. And there's a kind of peace in knowing less and feeling more. I'm collecting little moments like a treasure, just building something real worth holding on to for sure. I don't need a reason to feel this way. Everything I want is already in this place. This is where I belong, in the quiet of the feeling when the rhythm carries on. Every breath is like a melody I'm finally learning. This is where I belong, with my feet upon the ground and my whole heart in my hands. I'm done with second guessing, I'm just here, and I'm not leaving. Maybe I was looking way too far to find it when the answer was as close as my own heartbeat. I was counting all the things I thought were missing, never saw the ones that made my life complete. I'm not running anymore, I'm standing still, not because I'm stuck, because I finally feel like the ground beneath me is exactly where I'm meant to be. Yeah, that's enough for me. This is where I belong, in the quiet of the feeling when the rhythm carries on. Every breath is like a melody I'm finally learning. This is where I belong, with my feet upon the ground and my whole heart in my hands. I'm done with second guessing, I'm just here and I'm not leaving. Yeah, this is where I belong. I can feel it in the melody that carries on. This is where I belong. Oh, I finally understand, I'm exactly where I'm meant to be. This is where I belong. Before the sunlight touched the floor, your empty side still warm from yesterday. The quiet room remembers more than all the words we couldn't say. The kettle hums, the window breathe. A gentle breeze moves through the air. I trace the outline of your keys, still resting on the table there. Maybe we were too afraid, maybe timing slipped away, but love was never meant to fade just because we lost our way. So I pour another cup of hope, let the morning steady me. Even hearts that learn to cope still beat with possibility. I'm not breaking, I'm just blending with the dawn. Every tear that fell last night is softer in the early sun. I'm still standing with your echo in my chest, not defeated by the silence, just learning how to rest. The city moves in quiet gold, footsteps passing down below. Life continues calm and bold, teaching me to let you go. But letting go is not the same as erasing what we had. Love does not deserve the blame for moments turning sad. If someday past return to meet, if time decides to rearrange, I'll be true with the same heartbeat, no bitterness, no change. And if we never cross again, I'll thank the days we knew, for every laugh, for every rain, for loving something true. I'm not breaking, I'm just breaking with you. Every shadow from the dark feels lighter in my heart. I'm still breathing with your memory as grace, not imprisoned by the ending, just giving life its space. Morning doesn't rush the sky, it unfolds in quiet here. Healing doesn't ask us why, it simply pulls us through. So I gather all the pieces, place them gently back inside, not to hide what love releases, but to carry it with pride. I'm not lonely, I'm just growing past the ache. Every goodbye I survive becomes a stronger heart to make. And somewhere in this living, between the lost and start, there's a softer kind of giving, a braver open heart. The sun has fully reached the floor, the coffee's gone, but warmth remains. I don't tremble like before, I'm steadier in the change. Goodbye was not a closing door, just a lesson wrapped in grace. And I walk into something new with morning. I've been speaking in a language that was never really mine, borrowing opinions from the loudest voice around, filling every silence with a comfortable distraction, terrified of what I'd hear if I just sat there. The noise ran out one evening and the room was finally empty, and the quiet didn't swallow me the way I thought it would. Instead it laid me open like a book I never finished, and the chapter I've been skipping was the one I misunderstood. What if everything I ran from was the thing I needed most? What if stillness is the only honest language that I know? When the noise is gone, I hear the woman underneath, the one who trades the truth for everybody else's peace. She's been waiting in the hallway of a life she couldn't choose, and she's asking me to listen, really listen all the way through. What remains when the noise is gone is the only version of myself worth holding on to. I built a reputation out of always always having answers, always carrying the weight, but nobody ever asked me if the armor I was wearing was protection or a prison I'd forgotten to escape. There's a difference between standing tall and never letting go, between the strength they celebrate and the kind that breaks you slow. I've been both, and I can tell you that the hardest thing I've done is admitting that the person I performed was not With every feeling I was scheduling for later, the grief I filed away, the joy I didn't trust was real. And one by one they spoke to me, loudly but with like old friends abandoned at a table years ago. They said we never left you, we've been here inside the silence. We're the things that remain when there's nowhere left to go. When the noise is gone, I hear the woman underneath, the one who trades the truth for everybody else's peace. She's been waiting in the hallway of a life she didn't choose, and she's asking me to listen, really listen all the way through. What remains when the noise is gone is the only version of myself worth holding on to. What remains when every mask has hit the floor is a woman learning finally what her voice is for. What remains when the noise is gone is everything I am. I feel the quiet moving through the air, like something gentle waking everywhere. A breath between the heartbeat and the day, a steady light that softly finds its way. Voice still lingers in my mind, not loud, not urgent, just a line. With every little thought I try to hold, like warmth that settles in the cold. I don't need fireworks above or sudden storms to calm me down. Sing the way you say my name, so ordinary, never tame. There's rhythm in the way we stand, no need to rush, no grand demand, just the pulses I need, quiet promise in each breath. And I feel it rising slow and sure, not fragile, not unsure. Something steady, something true, growing stronger next to you. You don't have to reach so high, we don't have to chase the sky. All I want is what we are, uncomplicated, open heart. The world can spin outside our door, but we don't need much more than this small table side by side, where every doubt is set aside. Your laughter bends the morning light, turning simple hours into bright moments wrapped in easy grace. No performance, no race, there's swing inside the way we talk, a softened step inside our walk. We move like music halfway between the silence and the word. And I feel it rising slow and sure, not fragile, not unsure. Something steady, something true, growing stronger next to you. We don't need perfect symmetry or grand design or destiny, just conversations drifting wide and honest feelings we don't hide. If life decides to test the ground, we'll lean in close, not back away. No heavy fear, no trembling sound, just calm that carries us each day. I never thought that depth could feel so effortless and so real, like something simple made of air, yet strong enough to always stay there. There, no shadow pulling at the seams, no fading echo of old dreams, only this expanding space where hope and comfort interlace. And I feel it rising slow and sure, not fragile, not unsure. Something steady, something true, growing stronger next to you. Stay right here, don't disappear. This closeness feels so clear, not loud, not wild, not extreme, just balanced like a living dream. Let time move at its quiet pace, we'll meet face to open face with steady hands and open sight, turning every every shade to light. I feel the quiet moving through the air. Now I know it's always there, not waiting far beyond the view, but building softly, me and you.
The kettle hums before the sun is ready. A pale blue line across the sky. I lean against the kitchen counter, watching morning pass us by. You're wrapped in cotton and slow breathing, still halfway lost in something sacred in the silence, in the space between the scenes. I used to wake with racing questions, deadlines pressing at my chest. Now the only thing that matters is the rhythm of your rest. Your footsteps softly cross the hardwood, bare and unafraid of sound. You smile like you already know. This is where my heart is found. No dramatic declarations, no orchestra in the air, just the fragile clink of porcelain and your fingers in my hair. And I have traveled through the noise of crowded rooms and flashing lights, but none of it could hold a candle to these unguarded mornings bright. I don't need a perfect future painted gold and golden flames. I can sit across from you and slowly say your name. I never told you this, but the way you stay without asking for applause is the reason I am brave. There's a kindness in your presence that doesn't try to prove. It settles like a steady chord with nothing left to lose. The window lets a ribbon through. It stretches on the floor, touching everything we are and nothing more. You trace circles on the table, absent-minded, soft and light, talking about the smallest things like they're treasures in plain sight. And I am listening differently, not just to what you say, but to the pauses in between where meaning likes to stay. If the world outside is restless, if it pulls us into speed, we have built a quiet harbor in this gentle cup of tea. Love doesn't always sparkle, it doesn't have to shine. Sometimes it's simply showing up again and every time. I thought love was something wild and overwhelming, but maybe it's closer to gravity. Something steady, something that keeps you near. Your laughter fills a small room, not loud but full and loud, like find myself aligning to the quiet way you stay. You don't rush the conversation, you don't compete with it. You let the silence settle and meet me gently there. If I ever lose direction, if I start to drift away, just place your hand inside of mine, the quiet way you stay. No need for crowded flowers, promises too tall. We've learned the art of listening, and that has been our all. The city's slowly waking, cars beginning to appear, but inside this fragile moment there is nothing I would fear. I never thought that comfort could feel this alive, that peace could carry passion without needing to strive. And if one day the seasons shift the colors that we see, I will remember mornings where you chose to sit with me. Not because you had to, not because it was required, but because you wanted to build something unretired. The coffee cools between us, unfinished but just right. We talk about the future like it's soft and held in light. I don't need a lot of story or a stage beneath my feet. If I can start each morning with your heartbeat close to me. Ooh, you don't chase attention, you don't demand display. You simply lean a little closer in the quiet way you stay. That is more than thunder, more than spectacle or flame. It's the gentle kind of courage that forever feels the same. So let the day come slowly, let the hours find their pace. We have this tender beginning in our ordinary space. The kettle hums again, the sky is full of rain, and I am exactly where I'm meant to be, in the quiet way you stay.
Learn to say I'm fine before I learn my name. Learn to read the room before I set a pace. They taught me how to listen, how to nod and how to smile, but nobody sat me down and said feel this for a while. So I stored it all away in a drawer behind my room. Locked it with a sentence that I told myself as a kid. What a feeling that was never the disease. What if I was fluent in the language nobody sees? This is the language nobody taught me how to speak, the one that lives between my chest and my cheek. It doesn't follow grammar, doesn't care about the rules. This is the language nobody taught me, but I've been speaking it since before I knew. And I'm done translating myself into something easier for you. I cried at kitchen tables and apologized for tears. Love with both hands open and apologized for years. Felt the weight of every room before a word was said. Carried conversations people didn't know they had. They called it being sensitive, like it was something to outgrow. But I think the ones who feel it all are the ones who really know what it feels. And everything was never the disease. But if I was fluent in the language nobody sees, this is the language nobody taught me how to speak, the one that lives between my chest chest and my cheek. It doesn't follow grammar, doesn't care about the rules. This is the language nobody taught me, but I've been speaking it since before I knew. When I'm done translating myself into something easier for you. I'm not too much, I'm just uncensored now, not too intense. I just refuse to bow to the version of me that kept it all inside. This is my vocabulary, and I'm done trying to hide. This is the language nobody taught me how to speak, the one that lives between my chest and my cheek. It doesn't follow grammar, doesn't care about the rules. This is the language nobody taught me, but I've been speaking it since before I knew. When I'm done translating myself into something easier for you. I speak it fluently now, every syllable mine. The language nobody taught me was the truest one I'll find. You sit across from me, steam rising slow between our hands, porcelain warmth, quiet clatter, the city stretching into itself. I watch the way you breathe, like you're trying not to rush the day. There's something gentle in your shoulders, something unspoken but so I didn't know silence could feel this full. Didn't know stillness could move like this. Stay right here, let the clock forget its numbers, let the world hum somewhere far away. We don't need answers, just this table, this chair, and the space between our fingers. I like the way you look at nothing, as if everything already makes sense. I like that you don't feel the quiet, and let it breathe. Soft piano leaning into corners, brushes tracing circles in the air. Your laugh buried above a whisper, landing softly in my chest. There's no hurry in your eyes, no thunder rolling through your words, just warmth that settles slowly like sugar dissolving in a cup. And I feel something steady forming, not fireworks, not a storm, just a rhythm we can lean on. Stay right here, let the minutes open gently, let the noise drift out the door. We don't need promises, just this warmth and the sound of you saying my name. If this is how a day can begin, I don't need it louder, I don't need it brighter, I just need it true. Your fingers trace the rhythm of conversations we haven't had. I wonder what you're holding back, and I don't mind. There's courage in slow affection, in choosing not to run ahead, in letting every glance unfold without demanding more. And when you finally speak, your voice right slow and steady, it wraps around the room like it belongs here. Stay right here, let the air grow softer, let our breathing find one line. No grand declarations, no dramatic turns, just closeness, simple and real. Maybe love isn't that thing, maybe it's this, a table, two cups, and a feeling I'd stay. Soft bass humming underneath acoustic strings, brushing light, we lean into the quiet again. Not afraid of what it means, because sometimes the strongest things are the ones that move slowly. So stay, not forever, just long enough for this moment to become ours. I never noticed how you pause right before you start to speak, like you're arranging something small, so nothing fragile sounds too weak. I've heard your stories all before, about the city and the rain, about the songs you used to play inside your barely tuned guitar strings. But something in the way you smiled felt different than it used to feel. Not loud or not more bright or wild, just suddenly intensely real. I've known your hands for years by now, the shape, the motion, how they move. But when they brush against my sleeve, the steady thoughts began to groove. It wasn't thunder, wasn't flame, no spinning rush, no reckless start, just quiet heat beneath my name, a softer shift inside my heart. And I didn't see it coming through the space I thought I always knew. But now the air is bending new whenever I am close to you. We're not strangers in the night, we're not chasing borrowed light. We're just standing where we've been with something deeper settling in. The way you lean across the table, listening like I'm something rare, makes every ordinary word feel carefully and fully there. We used to talk for hours straight about the future, work and plans, but now there's something underneath that neither of us understands. There's rhythm in our steady tone, a subtle swing we've never shown, like chords we played in simpler keys, now turning into harmonies. And I didn't plan to feel this way inside a perfectly normal day, but something quiet chose to stay, and I don't want it to decay. This isn't reckless, isn't fast, it's not a break from what is past, it's what was always underneath, finally stepping past my teeth. I don't need sparks across the sky or fireworks to justify what's building slow inside this room in gentle, open, certain bloom. You laugh until your head aside and something settles in my stride, like every step I take is sure of what it's quietly reaching for. There's no performance, no disguise, no sudden shift behind our eyes, just deeper layers coming through and things we've always used to do. And I didn't see it coming through the space I thought I always knew, but now the air's bending new whenever I am close to you. If this becomes what I suspect, it won't erase what we protect, it won't rewrite the years we've known, it only adds a warmer tone. We won't collapse into surprise or dramatize what gently rises. We'll let it breathe, we'll let right before you start to speak. Now every silence that you hold feels laid warm and deep.
You wake before the alarm rings. I wake when the room feels warm. You like the curtains wide open. I like the quiet before dawn. You take your coffee darker. I add a little cream. You move with steady focus. I linger in between. We never try to match exactly the way we start the day. You speak in clear directions. I drift a softer way. At first I thought we'd stumble over how we disagree, but difference turned to balance in ways I couldn't see. You read the morning headlines, already dressed in neat. I sit and play a chord progression, bare feet on cool concrete. You plan the week ahead of time with lists precise and straight. I'm sketching half-formed melodies that don't care about the day. And somewhere in that contrast, there's something that aligns. Your structure holds my wandering, my calm reshapes your lines. You said, don't change your rhythm for me, just let me learn your pace. And that was when I realized we both had found our place. You don't rush my quiet, don't resist your drive. We meet around the table where both our styles survive. The piano fills the kitchen with chords that softly bend, like the way we compromise without pretending to pretend. You show me how to follow through when I begin to doubt. Show you how to breathe again when pressure builds throughout. The brush drums keep a gentle pulse like footsteps side by side. Not racing for the finish, not falling far behind. The bass hums underneath it all, steady and sincere. It sounds like mutual respect made audible and clear. I used to think love meant becoming similar, but maybe it's about staying different without drifting apart. You don't ask me to be loud, you don't ask me to compete. You only ask for honesty in every word we speak. And I don't ask you to slow down or loosen who you are. I just reach for your intention, even when it's far. Morning light across your shoulder turns everything to gold. You're tying up your laces while I'm still half in thought. We move in separate motions, yet somehow stay aligned. Two melodies in counterpoint, sharing space and time. If ever we misread each other, if tones begin to blur, we sit and let the silence do the quiet work for sure. You explain without accusation, I answer without defense. That alone has built a trust that's deeper than suspense. I admire your precision, you admire how I feel. We never try to overwrite what makes the other real. I don't need you to mirror me, I don't need you to agree. I only need to know you're choosing this with me. The city starts to quicken, engines start to hum, but inside this shared beginning, we are one. Your tempo isn't my time isn't yours, but somehow when we listen, fiction, just honest and still. I've learned that love is layering, not blending into one. It's two distinct horizons meeting with the sun. You head toward your direction, I linger for a while, but when our eyes reconnect, there's recognition in the smile. No need to change the structure, no need to rearrange. The beauty is the contrast that neither tries to change. If anyone should ask me how we make it stay, I'll say we never lost ourselves along the way. You wake before the alarm rings, I wake when the room feels warm. Different in our methods, yet equally transformed. And every quiet morning as soft chords gently play, I am grateful for the balance we find at your tempo and mine each day.
I wore the size they gave me, and I called it who I am. Fit myself in margins someone else began. Love was always measured by a scale I didn't build, and I kept climbing toward it like a glass I'd never fill. Every race was almost, every wind was not quite yet enough. Kept moving further like a shadow I can't catch. Who decided what the finish line was supposed to look like anyway? I've been running someone else's race, and I'm done crossing the tape. I'm stepping off the scale that was never mine to stand on. Dropping every measuring stick that wasn't made by my hands. And that is what I say it is, not what they demand. I'm rewriting every stanza with a pencil I command. Enough was always here, I just couldn't see it through someone else's definition of where I should land. My mother's enough was silence, my father's enough was work, my teacher's enough was perfect, my lover's enough was hurt. I stitched them all together like a quilt of borrowed blues, and wrapped myself so tightly I forgot the cloth was cruel. But today I'm pulling threads and watching it unwind, not to be left naked, but to see what's really mine. Who decided what the finish line was supposed to look like anyway? I've been running someone else's race, and I'm done crossing their tape. I'm stepping off the scale that was never mine to stand on. Dropping every measuring stick that wasn't made by my hands. Enough is what I say it is, not what they demand. I'm rewriting every stanza with a pencil I command. Enough was always here, I just couldn't see it through someone else's definition of where I should land. Tuesday evenings, doing nothing on the couch. Enough is saying no without explaining how. Enough is who I am at 7 in the morning, before the world has told me who to be without a warning. I'm stepping off the scale that was never mine to stand on. Dropping every measuring stick that wasn't made by my hands. Enough is what I say it is, not what they demand. I'm rewriting every stanza with a pencil I command. Enough was always here, I just couldn't see it through someone else's definition of where I should land. I am enough, not almost, not nearly pull out a chair like you've done it 100 times. But today it feels deliberate, like you're choosing me again. The room isn't fancy, the table leans just a little. There's a mark from yesterday's cup, still drying in a circle. You say we can leave this place someday, but you're smiling when you say it, like you don't mean too far away. I like that about you, big ideas with gentle edges, dreams that don't demand escape, just room to breathe. Stay right here, let's make small plans for two. Not castles in the distance, not promises we can't hold, just grocery lists and train tickets and somewhere new to walk. We don't have to change the world, we don't have to reinvent anything. We can build something steady out of ordinary things. Soft piano bending through the chords, brushes tapping at the room, bass moving like a heartbeat, slow and confident within. You talk about a second bookshelf, about plants that might survive, about learning how to cook something neither of us tried. And I can see it, not dramatic, not loud, just evenings that feel right and laughter spilling out. Stay right here, let's take the long way home, not because we're lost, but because we're not in a hurry. Let the street lights find us, let the night wrap close. I don't need fireworks, I don't need applause. If I've got your hand in time that feels like ours, that's enough. That's more than enough. There's a rhythm in how you listen, like you're storing every word, not to win an argument, but to understand. That kind of care doesn't show up loudly, it settles in quietly and stays. You draw lines on a napkin, sketching rooms that don't exist, saying maybe one day, but your eyes say even if not. Stay right here, let's grow into something simple. Let's choose what we can keep, no pressure to be perfect, no race toward forever, just a pace that fits our feet. I like this version of us, unpolished, unrushed, real. Acoustic strings brushing lightly, chords leaning into warmth. The melody rises gently, but never loses ground. We don't need headlines, we don't need grand design. We just need a morning that turns into a night, and another one after that. You finish your drink, leave a coin on the table. Look at me like you're asking without speaking, and I nod because I already know. Stay right here, let's make small plans for two, not to escape this life, but to live it side by side. Slowly, steadily. taxi waiting by the curb. You held the door, I hesitated. Two hearts undone by one small word. The streetlights flickered amber gold, your shadow stretching next to mine. We both were brave, we both were scared, balanced on a fragile line. If I had spoken just a little slower, if you had listened just a breath, maybe we'd have turned around instead of walking into separate steps. But love is not a perfect script, it stumbles where it needs to learn. And sometimes what we almost keep becomes the reason that we burn. I don't replay it like a wound, I hold it like a photograph, a frozen second of our youth, a quiet unfinished laugh. Regret can be a heavy coat, but I don't wear it every day. I folded it with gentle hands and placed it safely away, because the way we almost stayed still taught me how to choose, still showed me how to speak my heart before there's more to lose. I've learned that silence carries weight, that heart can't close the door, that love deserves a clearer voice than what we gave it before. And if our road should cross again, not out of need but fate, I won't be trembling like I did on the night we almost stayed. I'll say the things I held inside, I'll meet your eyes instead, not begging time to rearrange, but offering an open hand. Maybe you have changed as well, maybe life was kind, maybe you discovered too what courage left behind. But even if we never meet, if that page has turned for good, I'm grateful for the almost, for the love that almost stood, because it shaped the way I trusted, carved the way I care. It taught me how to build a home with someone willing to stay there. Morning always finds a way to settle into, and every day I rise a little braver than I've been. I don't live inside that corner where what if slowly grow. I step into the open air, let the old winds go. The way we almost stayed that night was never just mistake, it was a lesson wrapped in what my heart was made to take. So I forgive the younger us, silence and the fear, and walk towards something steady with a voice that's finally clear.
I've been counting all the things I lack, making lists of what I should have been, always looking somewhere down the track, never standing still enough to breathe in. But tonight the city hums so low, and the kitchen light is amber gold. There's a warmth I think I used to know, back before I let the world take hold. What if I stop measuring the distance between the man I am and who I plan? What if all this quiet gentle distance was exactly where I'm meant to land? Maybe I'm enough for now, maybe I don't have to figure everything out, maybe all the pieces don't need solving, maybe I'm already worth the doubt. I'm enough for now, not the finish line but somewhere in between, and that's a kind of beautiful I haven't seen. I'm enough for now. Used to carry everybody's weight, thinking that was how you earn your keep. Smiling through the tired and the late, falling into someone else's sleep. I'm learning how to set it down, how to sit with silence and be still, how to wear my heart without a crown, just be human on this windowsill. What if I stop chasing the fate of a life that someone else designed? What if all I needed was the direction that was waiting in the back of my mind? Maybe I'm enough for now. Maybe I don't have to figure everything out. Maybe all the pieces don't need solving. Maybe I'm already worth the doubt. I'm enough for now. Not the finish line, but somewhere in between. And that's the kind of beautiful I haven't seen. I'm enough for now. I read somewhere that trees don't rush to grow. They just take whatever the season gives them. Rain or dry, they keep their roots exactly where they are, and somehow that's what makes them show. I think I've been uprooting myself for years, trying to plant somewhere that looked better for me. But tonight, right here, the soil feels like mine. So I'll pour myself a little more. Let the evening do what evenings do. Leave my expectations at the door and be someone I can finally look into. There's a softness in accepting this, in the letting go of getting there. Every breath becomes a quiet kiss from a universe that says I care. Maybe I'm enough for now. Maybe I don't have to figure everything out. Maybe all the pieces don't need solving. Maybe I'm already worth the doubt. I'm enough for now. Not the finish line, but somewhere in between. And that's the kind of beautiful I haven't seen. I'm enough for now. I'm enough. Right here, right now. Not need to prove it, I need to shout. I don't need to shout. I'm enough for now. That's all I need to know.
Sealing my secrets, telling anyone alive. It's heard me bargain with my choices, 1,000 sleepless nights. I ask myself the questions the daylight won't allow. Like who would I become if I stop performing now? Am I the woman they applaud, or the one who's left backstage, writing apologies to herself on every other page? The hours between midnight and dawn hold a different kind of truth, the kind that doesn't need permission, the kind I can't refuse. These conversations I have with myself are the realest ones I know. I don't know anyone else, and I finally let it show. No audience, no curtain call, just me against the wall. These conversations save my life when nothing else will do at all. I told myself last Tuesday that I'm allowed to change my mind, that loyalty to who I was doesn't mean I'm left behind. I asked the version of me at 16 if she recognized my face. She said I look like someone who forgot that rest is grace. So I'm sitting in the silence, not to fix but just to feel, letting every contradiction teach me something real. The hours between midnight and dawn conversations I have with myself. Realest ones I know. Don't owe anyone a reason, and I finally let it show. No audience, no curtain call, just me against the wall. These conversations save my life when nothing else will do it all. And when the daylight comes again, I'll wear the face they recognize, but I'll carry every word from these late night lullabies. I folded up my worries into tiny little paper boats, set them on the water, watched them float away from me. All those heavy questions that I carry like a second skin, dissolving in the current, heading somewhere I can't see. I made myself a promise on a Tuesday afternoon that I would stop apologizing just for being right. There's a version of myself that I've been keeping in the margins, and it's time I let her breathe and let her take me by the hand. I've been holding back for so long now, but the only way I feel is letting go. I'm unfolding every part of me I tucked away, every color, every edge I was afraid to show, laying out the pieces like a map without directions. And that the journey is the only thing I know. I'm unfolding, and it feels like the beginning of a story where the ending doesn't matter, 'cause the living is the gold. I talked to my reflection, said I'm sorry for the silence, for the years of pushing down the things that made me real. There's a beauty in the awkward and a power in the fragile, and I'm learning that my flaws are just a different way to heal. Wrote a letter to the girl who thought she wasn't quite enough, told her every stumble was a stepping stone in bloom, told her all the pieces that she thought were somehow broken were the very things that built this beautiful and honest room. I've been holding back for so long now, but the only weight I feel is letting go. I'm unfolding every part of me I tucked away, every color, every edge I was afraid to show, laying out the pieces like a map without directions, finding that the journey is the only thing I know. I'm unfolding, and it feels like the beginning of a story where the end doesn't matter, 'cause the living is the gold. Paper and promises that carry what I've left behind, every fold of memory I'm choosing not to keep, not because they didn't matter, not because they weren't mine, but because my hands are open now and I'm ready to receive. The wind is on my shoulders and the path is getting wider, and the girl who used to whisper now has something real to say. She's standing tall and smiling with her whole heart on the table, and she's beautiful because she chose to stay. I'm unfolding every part of me I tucked away, every color, every edge I was afraid to show, laying out the pieces like a map without directions, finding that the journey is the only thing I know. falling, and it's beautiful to finally know.
The door clicks softly as it closes. Morning air slips through the hall. There's a faint scent of toasted bread and sunlight leaning on the wall. No headlines waiting for attention, no grand event to rearrange. Just dishes drying by the sink and nothing urgent left to change. I once believed that neon had to shimmer loud and rare, like something carved in marble or announced to crowded air. But here we are in cotton silence, sharing space without a sound. And somehow in this stillness, something larger can be found. You're flipping through the pages of a book you've read before. I'm tracing absent patterns on the kitchen table's floor. No speech about forever, no dramatic scene to play. Just two cups slowly cooling at the start of another day. I used to measure living by achievements on a scale, counting proof of progress like wind inside a sail. But nothing on a checklist could rival what I see. Your elbow resting lightly, just a breath away from me. The piano hums in minor warmth with gentle jazzy bends. Rush drums like quiet footsteps where reflection never ends. The bass rests low beneath it like comfort under skin. And I begin to understand the miracle we're in. It's not the kind that dazzles, it's not the kind that shouts. It's the kind that shows up daily without any doubt. You ask me if I slept alright, I nod and take a sip. You brush a crumb from my shirt with absent-minded fingertips. There is a grace in repetition, in how we fold the day, in how the smallest gestures keep distance far away. The world may chase expansion and call it being alive, but there is something sacred in simply staying side by side. I thought miracles were interruptions, breaking through the ordinary. But maybe they've been here the whole time. Steam lifts like quiet breathing from porcelain and clay. Light drapes across your shoulder in an unassuming way. You laugh at something not worthy of a stage, yet the sound fills every corner like warmth that doesn't age. No audience applauding, no spotlight on display, yet this right here before me outshines a brighter day. I remember chasing moments that felt larger than my size, standing under borrowed fireworks reflected in my eyes. But none of them have lingered the way this morning does. No echo stayed as steady as the comfort that it was. You don't speak about destiny, you don't predict the years. You simply sit beside me and dissolve my quiet fears. If storms arrive tomorrow, if plans begin to shift, this rhythm we have practiced will always be a gift. Not loud enough for legend, not rare enough for fame, but strong enough to anchor when everything else changes shape. I watch the way you listen when I talk about my doubt. You never rush to answer, you let the words run out. And in that patient waiting, I feel entirely known. No need for reinvention, no pressure to perform. The city starts its movement, engines rise and fall. But here in the small kitchen we have already seen it all. Because nothing is missing, nothing has to be improved. The ordinary miracle is simply being with you. No banners in the skyline, no medals to display, just sunlight on the counter at the start of every day. And if someday we're older, if memory rearranges, I hope we still remember how this quiet never changes. The door clicks softly once again, the morning fully grown, and I carry with me the miracle we call home.
I've been sorting through the pieces of the life I used to know. Some of them are mine to carry, some I need to let go. Your opinions on my body, I'm returning those today. The guilt my mother handed me, I'm sending it away. The belief that I was difficult for needing to be heard, I'm placing that on the counter like an expired word. Not everything they gave me was a gift I had to hold. Some of it was baggage dressed in ribbon and in gold. I'm keeping what is honest, returning what is not, keeping what was given with love and not a night. I'm sorting through the inventory of everything I've got, and the woman on the other side is lighter than I thought. What I keep and what I return decides who I become. And I'm choosing with intention now, not obligation. I'm keeping how my grandmother would hum above the stove. Keeping how my best friend holds my hand without being told. I'm keeping every time I chose myself and didn't hold. And returning every time I was traded or controlled. There's a pile on the left of the things that made me small, and a pile on the right of the things that held me tall. Not everything they gave me was a gift I had to hold. I'm keeping what is honest, returning what is not, keeping what was given with love and not a night. I'm sorting through the inventory of everything I've got, and the woman on the other side is lighter than I thought. What I keep and what I return decides who I become. This isn't about blame or pointing any fingers back. It's about the space I make when I unload what I don't lack. Forgiveness for the givers, grace for what they didn't know. But the weight was never mine, and I'm finally letting go. I'm keeping what is honest, returning what is not, keeping what was given with love and not a night. door clicks shut behind me, and the room exhales. Shoes resting by the corner, silence settling into place. No one calling my name, no expectation in the air. Just curtains moving slightly like they know I'm here. I pour a little something warm, let it sit between my hands. No one across the table, and that's exactly how I planned. I used to fear this kind of quiet, thought it meant I was alone. But tonight it feels intentional, like I finally made it home. Stay right here, no rush inside these walls, no voices climbing over mine, no pressure to respond, just breath and space and time unfolding slowly. It's not emptiness, it's room to stretch, room to think, room to feel without performing. Soft piano touches minor edges, brush drums barely trace. Bass moves like steady footsteps through a comfortable pace. I light a small lamp in the corner, golden against the shade. There's comfort in control, in choices that I made. No grand romance in this moment, no dramatic embrace. Just a body in a quiet room, finally at ease with its own space. Stay right here, let the evening lean closer, let the air grow thick with calm. I don't need distraction, I don't need escape, I just need this steady hum. I am not missing anything, I am not behind, I am not waiting for someone to define this life, this pulse, this simple design. The guitar brushes through softly like fingers through loose hair. The chords bend without breaking like I've learned to do with care. There's strength in changing, and not chasing every spark, in choosing what to carry and what to leave in the dark. I stretch across the sofa, let my shoulders finally fall. There's something deeply powerful, and I needed it all. Stay right here, let the night move slowly, let thoughts drift in and out. No arguments to rehearse, no future to announce, just presence. It's enough. This room, this rhythm, this breath. The melody rises slightly, then rests back down again, like a wave that knows it doesn't have to win. And as the hours pass quietly, nothing spectacular occurs. No sudden revelations, no dramatic dinners. Just a woman company, not incomplete, not searching, just being. Stay right here, where silence feels generous, where stillness feels earned, where I can exist without shrinking, without burning. Lamp hums softly, bass fades into air, piano lingers on a final chord, and I remain unrushed, unmoved, unapologetic, at home in my own presence. You don't make promises and fireworks. You don't speak in borrowed lines. You just reach across the table, fold mold your fingers into mine. The coffee cools between our hands. Morning light across your face. Nothing dramatic in this moment, just a quiet kind of grace. We talk about the smallest things, the way the city hums outside, and somehow in the ordinary there's nowhere left to hide. Love in real time, not a dream we have to chase. It's the way you look at me, like I'm exactly in my place. Love in real time, steady as the rising sun. Not a rush, not a race, just two hearts moving as one. We don't need a crowded room, no grand applause, no sudden spark. You trace circles on my wrist, soft and certain in the dark. The future isn't loud or far, it doesn't shout to be believed. It lives inside these daily hours, in the way we both breathe. I used to think that love would shake me, turn my whole world upside down, but you arrived without a storm, and still you turned it around. You listen when I lose my words, you laugh when I forget the line, and somehow in your steady calm my restless edges start to align. Love in real time, built from mornings just like this, from the comfort of your shoulder and the warmth of every kiss. Love in real time, growing quietly but strong, not a fleeting kind of feeling, but a place where we belong. We pen and pencil, not in stone, we let tomorrow form its shape. No pressure pressing on our hands, no fear we need to escape. And if the days grow difficult, if shadows stretch across the floor, I know we won't be strangers then. We've built something more, not perfect, not untouchable, but honest through and through. A rhythm that is ours alone, simple, steady, true. Love in real time, breathing easy in my chest. It doesn't ask for everything, it simply gives its best. Love in real time, warm as sunlight on the wall. No illusions, no disguise, just the clearest love of all. And if the years move quickly, if seasons change their tune, I know this kind of love we're living will still be here by noon, because it isn't made of noise or words we can't maintain. It's in the way you say my name and mean it every day. Love in real time, not a story left to tell. It's the life we're walking into, and it fits us well.
Remember when we drove without a map, windows down and singing out of key. You would catch up stains across your lap, and I was laughing harder than I'd ever be. We found that lake behind the grocery store, jumped in wearing everything we had. You said this is what living's really for, and honestly I think you weren't half bad. We didn't know how rare it was to feel that free without a single pause. We didn't think to save it just because we thought that kind of feeling had no cost. Take me back to that summer when we had nothing but time. young and tender, and I'd give anything to feel that way again. You moved away the year the leaves turned red. I kept your jacket folded by my bed. We'd call at midnight talking half asleep, making promises we both knew we would keep. And even though the years have built a wall of different lives and different postal codes, I still remember every single fall when we would wander down those dusty roads. We didn't need a reason to belong, we just showed up and everything made sense. Life was just a never-ending song, and every verse was our experience. Take me back to that summer when we had nothing but time to spend. Every day rolled into another and we never thought about the end. Take me back to that summer, to the laughter echoing down the lane. We were golden, young and tender, and I'd give anything to feel that way again. I drove past that lake again last October. They built a parking lot where the field used to be. But if you close your eyes, you can still hear it. The way the water sounded when we hit the surface, the way you screamed so loud, the birds all scattered. Funny how a place can change completely, but the feeling stays exactly where you left it. So here's to every photo never taken, to the inside jokes that only we would get, to the parts of us that never really shaken. No matter how much living makes us forget, I don't need to go back there to hold it. This feeling lives inside my chest. Some things are too precious to outgrow it. And you, my friend, have always been the best. Take me back to that summer when we had nothing but time to spend. Every day rolled into another and we never thought about the end. Take me back to that summer, to the laughter echoing down the lane. We were golden, young and tender, and I'd give anything to feel that way again. Take me back. Oh, take me back to the version of us who never had us. Take me back to that summer.
Every suitcase I own has a story of retreat. I perfected the goodbye before it lands on my feet. I leave before the weather turns, before the questions start. Call it self-preservation, call it guarding my heart. But you're standing in the doorway with your patience in your hand, saying, take your time, I'm not going in. And I don't understand. I know how to walk away like the back of my own name, but this is something different, and I don't know how to play this game. Teach me how to stay when every part of me is reaching for the door. Teach me how to lay my defenses on your kitchen floor. I've never been the one who sticks around to see what's next. Teach me how to stay, 'cause you're the reason I wanna try what I haven't learned yet. My mother left in pieces, one silence at a time, and I inherited the instinct like a rhythm or a rhyme. If something feels too steady, I assume the fall is near. So I pack before the damage and I disappear from here. But you don't flinch at my excuses, you just pour another cup. say the door is always open, but I wish you'd fill it up. I know how to walk away like the back of my own name, but this is something different, and I don't know how to play this game. Teach me how to stay when every part of me is reaching for the door. Teach me how to lay my defenses on your kitchen floor. I've never been the one who sticks around to see what's next. Teach me how to stay, 'cause you're the reason I wanna try what I haven't learned yet. What if steady doesn't mean the end? What if comfort isn't something I should flee? What if all the running that I've done was just the long way back to me? I wanna learn the language of remaining in one place. Wanna know what happens when I stop and show my faces. Teach me how to stay when every part of me is reaching for the door. Teach me how to lay my defenses on your kitchen floor. I've never been the one who sticks around to see what's next. Teach me how to stay, 'cause you're the reason I wanna try what I haven't learned yet. I'm putting down the suitcase, I'm standing in the room. Teach me how to stay. I think I'm ready to. There's a place we keep returning to whenever we get ready. Not a building or a city, just the feeling when we meet. You bring the kind of honesty that cuts through all the pretending, and I bring the kind of laughter that can pull us off our feet. We've collected years like Polaroids pinned up along the hallway. Every frame a little faded, but the colors still remain. Through the messy and the mundane, and the days that almost broke us, we keep one another through the cold and through the rain. Now we'll walk the whole way through, but I've got a seat that's always here for you. Here's to the ones who stay, show up at the door without you even asking. Here's to the ones who say I've got you, and they mean it every single time. Here's to the ordinary Tuesday kind of love we need. The ones who stay are everything. You remember how I like my coffee and the songs that make me cry, and I know the way your shoulders tighten when the week has been too much. We don't always have the answers, but we sit inside the questions, and there's magic in the way we learn to lean into the trust. I've had people come and go like seasons passing through a window. Some of them I wish would stay inside to let walk free, but the ones who built a home inside my most imperfect chapters are the only kind of wealth that ever truly spoke to me. Not everyone will walk the whole way through, but I've got a seat that's always here for you. Here's to the ones who stay, at the door without you even asking. Here's to the ones who say I've got you, and every single time. Here's to the ordinary Tuesday kind of love we made. The ones who stay are everything. We don't need declarations or once in a lifetime promises, just the quiet hand that reaches in the middle turn into the best, the ones who